Hey guys, Jonathan here for Dan Sports Corner and JamSports.org. How is it going? This is my AFC, really my NFL divisional playoff preview for the weekend. The games, of course, take place Saturday, January 14th, 2012, and Sunday, January 15th, 2012. Alright, so first off, let's get things going right away. Really, ultimately, three, if not four, entertaining matchups take place this weekend. Broncos Patriots is going to be interesting. We'll talk about that one, of course. Packers Giants, I think is going to be good. That's a rematch from earlier in the year with possibly a different result, maybe. We also have another interesting matchup, but in the first game we're going to talk about, so we're going to get right to it. The New Orleans Saints travel to San Francisco. First of all, in the beginning of the year, when the Niners hired Jim Harbaugh, I said that I felt that it was a good fit. I'm on record as saying that on YouTube, that I thought Harbaugh was a good fit. I was called crazy. So what? He turned Samford on. There's a difference between college and the NFL. Look what he did to San Francisco. Look what he did to Alex Smith. He turned Alex Smith into what everyone talks about. Last year, outside of San Francisco, and maybe the other side of the bay, nobody talked about Alex Smith. This year we're forced to. He's got his team in the playoffs. He's got his team in the first round bye. Granted, yes, they're in a horrible, horrible division. The NFC West. But you got to give it up to Harbaugh for what he's done. Meanwhile, you look at the Saints. Well, Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer in my eyes. He broke records this year and stuff. So everyone says, well, the Saints are the better team. Well, that may be true. Well, kinda. If you look at it this way, who's got the better offense? Saints. Who's got the better defense? I'm going to say probably the 49ers. I don't know as far as rank-wise, but I'm going to say the 49ers defense is probably better than the Saints defense. So, with that being said, it's going to make for a very interesting matchup. Another thing that's interesting, the Saints did not play well away from the Superdome, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. They were 8-0 at the Superdome this year, and they were 5-3 on the road. Now, granted, one of their losses, none of their losses were really embarrassing losses. They lost a shootout to the Packers in Week 1 at Lambeau. They lost to the Buccaneers, which is a division game. They lost to the Rams. That was a little bit embarrassing and shocking. But it's going to be interesting to see. The Niners didn't play all that well outside of the Superdome. Are they going to play okay in California? The good news is they're not really going to have to worry about cold weather. They're not going to have to worry about that. I think that's going to help them. Who is the better team? I think the better team is the Saints. Yes, but I don't expect the Saints to come out and just rip the Niners up. Okay, I expect a good game out of it. I expect Alex Smith to show up. I expect Alex Smith to have an okay game, maybe a good game, not a great game. I don't consider, there's a lot of people have asked me, in what category do you put Alex Smith? I don't put Alex Smith in the great quarterbacks. Then again, I don't put Tony Romo in the elite quarterbacks. I think Tony Romo is close. I'm going to take a lot of heat for that, especially from one person who I'm sure probably watched this video. He knows who he is, and I'll probably get a text message. But, so I'm not quite ready but I'm not ready to put Smith there yet. I think Alex Smith has a lot to learn yet, and I think he is. I think under Harbaugh he's done it. I think the big thing that Harbaugh has done is given him the confidence that he can do this, because he's bounced between so many offensive coordinators and stuff, and now he's just got Harbaugh. He's got his head coach and play caller all in one play. And I think that's helping him. I do think that, the Niners season was fantastic. I was on the Niners bandwagon all year. I was on Harbaugh's bandwagon all year, and I will be on Harbaugh's bandwagon for years to come, especially because that division is horrible, and I really don't foresee it getting any better very quickly. But I do think that the Niners run dies in San Francisco. By the way, just for the record, I do have the Saints winning. Just for the record, we did go 2-2 on wild card weekend, and of course the biggest. I don't know if you want to call it a shock. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. If you want to, you can. First of all, probably should say that I do want to say that you can catch the 49ers and Saints at 4:30 Eastern Time Saturday on Fox. The one game, or really, okay, the two games that we lost were both games that stunned me that we lost them. Um, Texans getting by the Bengals, didn't think that was going to happen. And I also didn't think, along with, pretty much everybody else in the world probably, except Bronco fans and Tebow lovers, thought that Tebow and the Broncos were going to beat the Steelers. Well, in that game, the Broncos just outplayed the Steelers. They really did. Um, I think the Texans and the Steelers have a lot of similarities. Watching the Texans, it reminds me of a younger version of the Steelers. But that's for neither here nor there. Um, I, I don't think this game is going to be quite like the meeting that they had in Week 16, Week 15 rather, where the Patriots annihilated the Broncos 41-23 after the Broncos jumped out to a lead. Now, if the Broncos jump out to a lead again, don't get too excited because we've seen a lot of teams do that lately. Miami did it. Buffalo did it. Denver did it. They jump out to leads against the Patriots. Now, here's an interesting note about the Patriots. Tom Brady and the Patriots have not won a playoff game, have not won a playoff game since 2007. They have lost their first playoff game a lot lately, and I don't think it'll happen here. I don't think the game's going to be a blowout. I think the spread on that game in Vegas is like 13.5 or something for the Patriots. Um, I think that's too high of a spread. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be another entertaining game. It's going to be another come down to the wire. Holy man, is Tebow going to do it? I don't think he is. I really don't. I mean, who knows? Could be wrong. But, I was wrong last week. But I don't think he is going to do it. I think when it comes right down to it, I think the Patriots are going to win the shootout version of it. Von Miller is going to have himself, I said it last week, and I got to say it again here, Von Miller is going to have himself a big game. He is going to have to rough up Tom Brady for the Patriots to have any chance of winning this game. It is basically Von Miller, and what he does is going to dictate what the Denver Broncos do, I think. I don't think Tebow has great numbers. It's going to be cold. The weather's going to be bad. I don't think Tebow has great numbers in the game. And I still don't think the Patriots will blow up the Broncos. I do have the Patriots winning a tight game. And when I say tight, okay, maybe a touchdown, maybe a little more, but I definitely don't think it'll be 13 like Vegas thinks it will be. But then again, that's why Vegas does the spreads and I don't. Alright, next up, so that will do it for Saturday's games. Let's talk now about Sunday's games, and they look like this. We kick that action off. By the way, I should probably tell you that as soon as this thing decides what it's going to do, I'll tell you what time you can catch the Patriot Broncos game. Well, okay, maybe not. But I will say this. Next game we've got, I guess I can. Patriots Broncos. You can catch that 8 o'clock Eastern Time, CBS, on Saturday. Alright, the Sunday action starts out with the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans. Houston, like I said, surprised me last week. And here's the thing I said about Houston earlier in this video. Houston reminds me a lot of a younger version of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I think the Steelers are a better team than the Texans. I know the Texans beat a banged up Steelers team earlier in the season this year, but I think that the Ravens are going to have I don't want to say a fairly easy day. Flacco was complaining earlier about how if Flacco was complaining earlier this week, he's not getting the respect. He feels he's an elite quarterback. You're not elite. You're in the category. You're in that category with Tony Romo and those guys who I think are just on the cusp of being elite. You could get there. Flacco, I think, could be elite. Flacco doesn't see. I think he doesn't see the field as well as somebody like an Eli Manning. Um, but I don't think it's really going to matter. I think the Ravens are definitely a better team. Um, it took the Texan defense a little while to step up, and I think if it takes a while to step up again, Flacco is going to take advantage of that, and the Ravens will get points early. When it comes to who has the better defense, listen, Houston's offense didn't look that bad last week. TJ Yates didn't look that bad last week. You were going up against Cincinnati's defense, which isn't horrible, but Cincinnati's defense and Baltimore's defense are different. Baltimore's defense is a little bit more difficult. I think Houston is going to run into a wall when they run into Baltimore's defense. I've got Baltimore winning the game. And next up, of course, the game I'm going to have the vested interest in. That game can be seen, I think I already said, but I'll say it again, 1 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS on Sunday. At 4:30 Eastern Time on Fox, we have our last playoff game of the weekend, Packers-Giants from Lambeau. Of course, these two met earlier in the year. It was a 3-point win for the Packers in New York. I'm a Packer fan, and a lot of people who see this video are going to know that I'm a Packer fan. And my stepdad's probably going to see this video, and he obviously knows I'm a Packer fan. The Packers need to watch out. I think the Packers are in trouble. I think they could win the game, but I am going to pick them to win, but I think that we need to watch out for a possible giant win here. Let's look at what the Packers are. Okay, we've hyped the Packers to be something that they're really not. We've hyped them to be the spectacular team. Yes, they're 15-1. Do I still think they're the best team in football? Yes, but we're making it seem like they're milestones. Milestones. I'm probably not the right word, but they're so much higher than the second best team, and they're really not. Their defense is bad. Okay, it's the offense that keeps them rolling. It's going to be a shootout game. If Eli Manning comes out hot, if Victor Cruz comes out hot, Mario Manningham, guys like that, Packers could be in for some trouble. We almost lost to the Giants in New York. It could indeed happen in Lambeau. I don't think it will. But another thing you have to take into consideration too, the Packers are either going to be playing, inspired or kind of emotionally down after the death of the offensive coordinator's son. So it'll be interesting to see if that plays a factor, and I think if it does, I think the Packers will come out and play inspired football. I don't think they'll blow the Giants out. Everybody says Packers are going to have the road with the Giants. No, they're not. No, they're not. Packers are going to have a fight with the Giants. Come right down to the end. It might be a field goal game. It may even go into overtime. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So there you go. That's my thoughts on it. I'm going to go with the Packers there. So once again, quick recap of the picks. We have Saints, Patriots, Ravens, and Packers are the 4 picks. In order that the games will take place. Once again, remember they start tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern Time, or 3:30 Eastern Time, whatever I said earlier in the video, with Saints Niners. So possible recaps coming, like tomorrow night and Sunday night. Possible recaps coming in the action. We will see. I'm gonna go though because this video is running a little bit long. So I'm Jonathan Rosette for JM Sports 100 and JMSports.org. I'm out. Peace, guys.